Hello and welcome to Kubifaktorium Progress Report number 10. As usual, I will give you a brief overview over the features I've been working on lately and to give you a sneak peek at what you can expect in the year 2020. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you today is the new winter sub-biome. So as you can see, well, obviously it was created for the winter and holiday season 2019, but it comes with like a snowy area. It comes with some snow voxels snowing down, a frozen lake, a few benches and some presents, as well as a tree which gives off some light. So yeah, just a little seasonal thing, I guess. As you can see, people will sit down on the benches. I might have to work on the position where they sit exactly, but okay. The second new feature is transparent water. So water is now transparent. The top layer of the water, you can see what is down below. So for example, here in this little desert oasis, you can see there's now a ground beneath the water, and I think it looks really nice. And in the ocean, let's see if we can find some. You can see some animals. For example, you can see these rays and some fish swimming around, as well as some seaweed on the top of on the ground of the ocean. So yeah, it doesn't really add much to the gameplay, but I think it looks really nice and makes the water look much better than before, when it only had this opaque water effect. Then I have added a few desert specific music tracks. So whenever you're playing on a desert map, you will get 3 new different music tracks which will play during the daytime. And you can also hear them in the background right now. Then I have been working on the user interface a lot. So one of the most frequent complaints from earlier versions was the user interface, and I've made many improvements to that. Just to name a few, most lists in the game are now scrollable. So you no longer have these multiple pages you have to go through. You can just just use a scroll bar as you would expect from other programs. This is true for things like the columns screen, but also for things like the type filter user interface over here. Next up, and this is an ongoing project, you see that many icons have been replaced. So originally we only had these automatically generated icons based on the voxel model, which works for the most part, but is often not as distinguishable as one would like it to have, or like it to be. So yeah, I've actually hired a graphical artist who is now making hand-drawn icons for all the items, and later on also for the workshops and so on. So these will be added over time as they get made, but yeah, you can already see some of them in the game, and I think it makes things much easier to see and to tell apart from each other. One thing I've been working a lot on lately is bug fixes, just because I got a lot of bug reports over the holiday season, and I'm still sort of going through all the save games and bug reports you sent me. But I think in general in the last month I've made a lot of progress regarding bug reports, stability, performance, as well as fixing things about the automation system. And yeah, I think it really shows, because the types of errors or the bugs I get reported now are much more advanced than the bugs I got previously. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the progress. In the background you can see the new ore processing scene, which got updated to work with the new mechanics in the game. So now you have long inserters which can grab things like this coal from the far away belt. Still working on the animation, but yeah, a lot of progress has been made in this regard as well. coming to Miscellaneous. There are 2 new videos which I made and which you can have a look at if you're interested. The first is a second tutorial video aimed at modders, where I talk about some more advanced topics like shadow meshes, which are used for optimization, model variations and dioramas, as well as how to make terrain and biome mods. So if you're interested in modding, just have a look, and yeah, I think it provides quite a bit of insight into the more advanced concepts. Secondly, we have this mods highlight video recorded by Carl, where he presents 5 different mods or mod packs made by community members. So if you're interested in modding your game and trying out some new things, just have a look here for inspiration for what you can add to the game. So for the final point, let me briefly talk about my plans for 2020. As you may or may not know, at the moment I'm still doing Kubifaktorium as a side job. So I have a full-time job where I work 80% and I'm only able to do Kubifaktorium in the time I have left. And that is going to change. So starting in February, I'm going to do Kubifaktorium full-time, which is going to be really great because to put it in perspective, currently I only really have the resources to keep everything going, so to speak. So to keep up with administrative stuff, community management, bug reports, and fixing the most severe bugs. And when it comes to adding features, I only really had the time to pick the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. But starting in February, I'm going to have a lot more time and hopefully we'll get a lot more things done. So I'm really looking forward to see what I will get done then. Just having a look at the roadmap, which you can find on the internet. So in the short term, I'm going to improve the sound effects in the game. So I have someone working on that right now. It's going to take some time until all of them are, replaced and mixed properly, so it sounds really good, but I'm working on that. Then I'm going to do some refinements when it comes to the automation system. So for example, you will be able to select recipes for automatic workshops, and inappropriate input goods will automatically be removed, which is a big issue. And I'm also going to fix the remaining bugs which are still present when you are in this late game content. I'm going to implement tool effects, tool quality effects. So currently tools do not have an effect in the current build. The previous system was really complicated, up to the point where I myself couldn't really tell how it's supposed to work. So I replaced that with a very simple system, and I'm going to implement that in the near future. Then I'm also going to redesign the pasture tamed animal system. So currently you can have animals which have been recruited via the recruitment flag, and also animals which can be tamed and live on your pasture, and it's really not intuitive and it makes no sense. So I'm going to replace that with something better. In the midterm, so I'm deliberately not putting any date here, but in the midterm I'm going to work mostly on technical aspects. So my plan is to get most of the core systems and technical things implemented rather early, so that they can get fixed over time and will be stable when the game is finished. And then in the long term I'm going to focus more on implementing the remaining content, so the 4th biome, for example, all the goods and production buildings which are required for tier 4. I will focus a lot on balancing and so on. So that is what will be focused on in the long term, but it's still a few months away at least. So that wraps up my progress report for today. The next report will be around April, and I very much hope you enjoyed this report, and I hope you enjoy playing the game. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.